Good afternoon to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you to Arts and Humanities. My wife Kay and I lived on Bainbridge for 30 years and raised two sons, Blake and Luke, here. We now live in Poulsbo, which is the home of the Norwegian fortune cookie. And maybe among other things, and I could digress on that, but I won't today. We have very much enjoyed walking around Winslow and enjoying the poems. Earlier today we were walking around Blodell Reserve, and wonderful poems posted there. What a delight that is. We went to the Front Street Gallery in Poulsbo where they have Ars Poetica and some wonderful poems there with art pieces. Just delightful this month of poetry, and to share that with you all. My poem is called Dancing with Gracie. Gracie is a real person. Gracie grew up in South Dakota in a fairly large Norwegian family, I guess a connection to Poulsbo. And she passed away a little over a year ago at 88 years of age. I knew Gracie for 40 years. My wife Kay, who's here, has known her much longer, since she was a very young girl. And about 6 days after Gracie passed away, I sat down and was writing about this, and mainly feelings were coming, and I'm glad I was writing it. I kind of felt left at the station. She had been ill for a time, but then things accelerated, and she died fairly in short order fairly quickly. And so I kind of felt left at the station. Y'all know what I'm speaking about. It was a very hard thing, and so I was writing feelings a lot along this line, and which was good to write, but it didn't feel like it was really flowing into much of a poem, really. And so I went and had dinner, and later that evening I came back and sat down once again, turned to a fresh page in the tablet, and there was a whispering, I think, in my third ear. I think poets, maybe everyone has a third ear. I'm not sure where it's located, but I'm sure it was Gracie. And one of the things Gracie was whispering to me is something she said fairly often in her life. She worked many years as a nurse, and when difficulties came up for people, she would say, "Just get over it." And saying something like that can be trite or kind of dismissive, but for Gracie, she meant it. She said that seriously. She felt that there's too much living to do to get stuck in neutral. And so I sort of changed tack about the way I was writing, and this poem that I'll read for you came from that change in tack. And towards the very end of the poem, you'll hear her advice to me, her advice to everyone, which I must say, in retrospect, I feel like I followed her advice in writing this poem, but also I tried to push back a little bit against her too. Dancing with Gracie. She erupts. I would stand for Gracie, yes. I might lean against my pack as we talked, and she wrapped her sharp eyes around me. She simmers. I stay with her on rocky path or slant beach, because her fiery smile opens the sky, then that staccato Dakota drawl. She elates. I would dance with Gracie for all the world, give her a kiss and never get over it. For that is her gift.
Mm.
Thank you.